Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 5, Episode 64. Today is Wednesday morning, and I am just leaving home nice and early. Today's going to be an overnight trip, most likely, just depending on how things go, because I could be backed off at my first casino, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. So I will figure out the plan for today if I do or don't get backed off. And we'll see. So hopefully not. Hopefully what happened Sunday isn't going to be transmitted to the other casinos, but you never know. The casino that backed me off, I was told, did not use facial recognition anymore, but I don't know what else it would have been other than that. So we'll see. Let's see. Yesterday and today, this morning, early morning, I did pay a bunch of bills. I paid about $19,000 in bills today. So, you wonder where the money goes, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Now, some of it was spend that I did on a credit card, so that's really money that I'll be getting back. But there's a lot of stuff involved in my daily life, between all the people that I take care of and all the family that I help and all that kind of stuff. So, not to mention our own bills and, the countertops and cabinets, all the new stuff that we've done to the house. So you got to pay for that stuff sometime. So did that, and then also between yesterday and today, also cashed out. I cashed out my Costco points, which I don't need to add to my spreadsheet. I don't think. I need to double check because I think, I think I added it to the spreadsheet at the time that I did the spend because I wanted an accurate number when I was buying and selling stuff. And I also cashed out another almost $600 off a Chase credit card. Now, interestingly, a lot of the times you want to use your points for travel because you get 1.25 times the amount of money for it. And with some credit cards like Capital One, you only get half as much if you use it for cash. But Chase changed their policy in October that you actually get 1 for 1 if you use it for travel and not 1.25. So it didn't make any sense for me to save that, so I just cashed out like almost 60,000 points, and I've got another 10,000 points pending. So that money's going directly in my bank account. Yesterday I was working on a game, and I had my theory, and I ran it through. I ran over 500 hands, and it was working the whole time. And then I decided to go. I got a little bit excited that it was so good, it was too good to be true, and I stretched the limits and ended up losing a lot of that money. And then I went back to my original plan and gained it all back. So, is it 100% for sure? I don't know. It's only been about 500 hands. I want to do about another 500, but it seems like I want to something. So we may do that today. We may do that tomorrow. There's a limit as to how much money I can run through there in a month, and I've reached that cap. But like I've told you before, I don't like to keep money in accounts. So once I run it through, I like to just cash it out and then wait for the cash to come in and then run through again. That way they have the least amount of money possible of my money. Plus, with my limit only being $10,000 a month on that site, it's not going to give me a ton of opportunity. So, other than that, there was another site yesterday. I made whatever, $450, $480, something like that on that site. So a lot of that stuff is going on, but I have to say, if this game doesn't work out as expected, and the other one seems to be slowly going bankrupt, I would say by the end of the year I may have no online stuff to do, and I may have to switch over to sports and online poker to try to make money, which is a little bit harder for me. And you know what? I got to do the Caesars thing today because I think I forgot to do it in February. I don't even know if I did it in January. So that's free money, where you bet $100. Pretty sure I did it in January, and then you get a $150 free bet. So definitely need to take advantage of that. I remember, I think in January, on the two sites, and I only have two right now that I withdrew all my profit and just left a couple $100 in each account, just in case, I wanted to run something through. So I'll try to find something today. I don't know what it'll be, but I'll just randomly pick something and play that and see what happens. Today, now temperature-wise, yesterday was just unbelievably cold, especially since 2 days before that it was in the 70s. So it's so ridiculous that it went from the 70s to feeling like -9, -12. Right now, today, it's only 21 degrees, feels like 13, with a high today of 38. So not that much better, but after today, tomorrow it's going to be 55, then 65, then 68, and 72. So we should be good. And then when I'm out of town in Vegas, it's going to be warm here as well. So hopefully the flowers that started growing didn't die yesterday, and we warm up from here. So it makes a big difference for me too, wearing a jacket to work, not wearing it to work, having to wear something at the casinos and stuff. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is, will I be backed off today? I would say the odds today are probably 30%. Odds tomorrow are maybe 40%. And if I survive a week, then odds are I will not be backed off. So the reason that it's going to be high the next couple days is if the shift that knows me gets the notice, they may or may not back me off, because I have history with them and they may not believe it. But I'm going to play that shift today, and I'm going to play the shift that doesn't know me, which usually is good for me, but if they see it, then they may back me off immediately. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I have a pretty good idea what I'm going to do either way after that initial stop. So I think we're going to hit 2 more casinos and then back to that casino if I'm allowed to be there. So, and they do scan ID at that one. The other 2 they don't. So we'll see. And actually opens up another thing for me. There is a casino that I don't visit just because it's inconvenient, but it's not that much further. The games aren't that great there. It's kind of a hassle to get to it, but I may have to switch over to that. So even if it's just a matter of going there just to make a little bit of money and get a bunch of points and free stuff. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm just talking out loud here. All right. I'm going to let you go for now, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys. I am back, getting close to my first casino, and I've been watching the price of silver drop and drop and drop with this war going on, which means there's less people demanding silver for industrial purposes, and it's just been awful. I did sell some of it. I'll probably sell the rest of it soon. Probably end up slightly ahead, but not much, maybe 20-30%. So, that was my fault. I should have been more careful. I should have taken some out earlier. But, we're honest on this podcast, so I'm being honest here. So we'll see what happens. I do still think it's going to go up, just not at the moment with the war going on. If there's a recession that happens, then there's going to be a lot less demand. So we'll see what happens with that. Right now I'm about 7 miles away from the main casino that I'm worried about. Hopefully everything goes well, and if it does, we're going to hang out here for 2 to 3 hours, and then we're going to move on to our next spot. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, just walking in here, actually in the parking lot right now. We're gonna get in the elevator, go in, see what happens. I don't expect anything to happen at the door, but I do expect when I sit down. So let's get through the door first. Put you away here so nobody sees this, and we'll see what happens. So listen close here. Waiting at the elevator. Here we go. All right, putting you away. Get your ID ready. Hello.
Good morning, sir. Welcome and good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. That was easy. Didn't even look at the screen. So, alright. Let's see what we can do here. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So, not much happened in there. I didn't get to play any blackjack because there just wasn't anything available. But I did see all the people that would know me. All the pit bosses, all the managers, everyone that would know me, and nothing happened. So I'm assuming everything's okay for now. I don't know if the information's at an office and it hasn't gone down to the people yet or what, but for now it seems like I'm okay. Just heading back to the car, just getting back in the car right now. And didn't find a lot of stuff. Found a lot of, I'm going to coin a new term here, a lot of walkers. A walker is an advantage player that's walking around over and over again at the casino trying to find a play. They're walkers. I found a lot of walkers and not a lot of plays. Ended up only playing a couple things. One of them I lost money on, 60-cent play, and I lost like $50 on it. And a couple other ones, and ended up ahead slightly overall. So overall, I ended up ahead $54. $54. Now, there's a friend of mine going to be here in a little while, but I think I'm going to be gone by then. But I did get a lot of requests from work. I'm going to sit in the car here before I do anything. And if my friend gets here in time, then I will talk to him. If not, then I will move on. But got to do some scans and reply to some emails and all kinds of stuff. By the way, that ding you just heard, I just surpassed 10,000 miles in this car, and it's for me to do an oil change on it. Remember, this was a brand new car when they gave it to me as a rental about 5 weeks ago. So, and I was in Vegas for a week of that time. So in about 4 weeks, I put 10,000 miles, just about 10,000 on this car. So anyway, I'm going to sit in the car, take care of some stuff, plus $54, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I was just getting ready to leave. A friend of mine called me from in this casino, so I'm going to go in and talk to him for a little bit. Maybe we find something to play while I'm in there. Maybe play some blackjack, who knows. But I'm going to go ahead and walk back in here, and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, I am back. Just heading back to the car again, and I shouldn't have come in because I came in and we played a play together and lost about $10. I played blackjack on a low-limit table and was down the whole time, the whole way through. Guy sitting next to me would not hit or split aces. He'd hit 2 aces and he'd stay. 2 aces on the next hand and he stayed. And of course he was losing, and he ended up losing a fortune. I ended up down 900, and that was basically min betting most of the time. It was just a bad situation. 1 second here. Alright, I know I was in the middle of talking there, but basically ended that session down 900. That guy was just crazy. But, not supposed to be affecting us, so whatever. Just a tough day. And then played some slots after that. And overall ended up ahead 227 on the slots, minus 900 on the blackjack. Just getting into the elevator right now, heading to the car, and a bunch more requests from the office, things I need to do. So I was about $600 and something better off if I hadn't walked back in here, but who knew that was going to happen. Just absolutely like the worst case scenario on that. The nice juicy table too, good rules, good penetration. Nobody put me in the system. The guy who knew me was right behind the other pit boss, never said a word, and she didn't put me in, so it was like the best case scenario, except that I lost. Oh, when you lose we won't put you in, when you win we'll put you in. I don't know. Anyway, let's head back to the car, do some more work. It's already 1:30 and we're still here. I mean, come on, this stinks, and we're down. And we got our Vegas trip a week from today, so got to get something moving here. I'll be back. All right, guys, here's what I decided to do. I went and got some food, and I am going back to the same casino, and I think I'm going to just relax, take my time, maybe go play some poker, and then look for another blackjack table and play some more blackjack and just see what happens. So I don't want to drive 2.5 hours right now to my next spot, and then I'll have to come back later, and then there's another spot further that I was going to go to. It's just going to be too much driving right now. Let's use the time to try to make money. So that's what we're going to do. So right now let's head back to the casino, and I'll come back and update you. All right, guys, I am back in the car, and it's just been a crazy day, crazy and frustrating day. I know you haven't heard that. Lately, it's just been, all days have been crazy and frustrating. So, let me think here. I went in, decided to play poker. So I played a mixed game. It's a 1-3, no limit for 1 round. Then a bomb pot and a 1-3 pot limit, Omaha. And played that for about an hour or so, maybe longer. I was ahead almost the whole time, about $200 or so until the last 2 hands. The last 2 hands, I had a 5s full of 3s that got beat by 5 full of 4s, and I had a full house beat by 4 queens. So I think I had ace, king, queen, ace, and the board had 3 queens on it, and of course he had the queen, of course. So I ended up losing 500 on the poker, and then I did play some slots. I went and played blackjack as well. Went to the high limit, played a $100 table, bought in for $1,000. I spread from 100 to 800 one hand, and basically it was very, very aggravating, because as the count was going up, I was raising and raising and raising and losing and losing and losing, and I was involved for a total of 4,400, and I was actually down 4,400, and ended up coming back, and in like 4 hands getting it all back and coming out ahead 1,000 by the end of the shoe. And of course, is that going to turn any heads? Probably not. Yeah, it did. And they did actually put me in the system both times. I noticed that last time earlier I lost 900, and they put me in as only losing 6. But this time I won 1,000, and they put me in as winning 1,000. So, people say, it doesn't matter. It matters when it keeps showing that I'm winning more than I'm losing. So that's not good. I was walking around, and I was over near the poker room, and I saw a friend of mine from like 20 years ago, not even a friend of mine, a friend of a friend. And I knew who he was right away because I think I may have mentioned him years ago on the podcast, just the funny names of some of the people that we gave him. This guy was Bobby Yellowshirt. And Bobby Yellowshirt, nice guy and everything, and he was telling me he got divorced and kind of stopped hanging out with the guys because he got a new wife and had a baby with her and all that kind of stuff. And so he didn't really have time to mess around with gambling with the other guys. While I was talking to him, he was telling me that, that he had tried to play blackjack. He signed up for blackjack apprenticeship, did that for about a year, and ended up not doing it after that. I didn't mention the podcast or anything like that. But as I was talking to him, security guard comes up with 2 cops. And I'm like, okay. And they're coming down the hall. And I'm like, here they come. And they slow down. And the security guard walks right up to me and walks right past me. And I was like, that was going to be the moment for sure that I was getting kicked out, because we were in an area where there isn't a lot of people. And what's the security guard doing with 2 cops? And they were like walking with him, and he was pointing my direction. And then they went behind me, and he went in front of me. And I'm like, okay, this can't be good. And then he just kept on walking. So maybe I was just in the way. So nothing ended up happening with that. Played some slots, was down like $60, ended up ahead $2. So, I mean, where does all this stuff put us? I mean, I'm up 230, 280 on the slots, and up 100 on the blackjack, and then lost 500, so I'm down a couple $100. So, yeah, whoop-de-doo. All that, leaving home and not spending the night in my bed tonight, and I'm down a couple $100. So at this point, it's past the work day, and I do have some stuff to do overnight for tomorrow. I have 5 meetings tomorrow, most of them in the morning. So I have to figure out what to do. Definitely have to pull over a bunch of times tomorrow for meetings. But right now, what do? I mean, next closest place is 2.5 hours away. There are 3 other casinos closer than that. I'm banned from all of them. There is one that's closer that I can't get to right now. I'm not banned, but I'm not able to go there today. So I don't know what I'm going to do as of yet. So I'm sitting here in the car trying to figure things out. Talked to a couple people on Discord. And one of them was telling me about some of the stuff that he was doing online and asking me if it was the same thing that I was doing. And it ended up being 2 different things. And I'm interested in what he's doing. Maybe I could do it too, and we can make some money. And maybe I have him as a guest or something. Who knows? I don't know if he wants everyone to know. So anyway, all right. Let me think about this for a while, and I'll come back. All right, guys, I am back. Left the casino, took a little drive, got a little snack, and then I'm heading back there again for the 3rd time today. Just wanted to talk a little bit about that blackjack session. The first blackjack session was basically just garbage. Lose, 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 lose. Bad count, lose, lose. No good. The second session was kind of different in that the counts were always positive from the beginning to the end. And it's just, at the beginning, I was losing most of the hands. In fact, I think I was down 800 or 900 before I won a hand, and then I had to rebuy a couple times. So, and I was buying in, rebuying 1,000 at a time, and buying in 1,000 at a time. So, it was just going pretty badly. As time went on, I started getting bigger bigger counts, true 3, true 4, true 5, which is where I'm maxing out at, true 5. And I'm betting $600, $700, $800 a hand. And I'm varying my bet. So I'm not just going like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 800 or something like that. I'm varying it as I'm moving up so that it looks more natural, You don't want it to look like you're a card counter, basically, even if they already know your name and they know how much you're up or down and all the information about you already. You still don't want to give them any additional information to go on. So although I was raising my bets, I had my act going as well. And basically I was, just take it all, here you go. And then, what do you know? It wasn't all. I have more in my pocket and more in my pocket and more in my pocket. And luckily it all worked out. But the dealer, when I walked up, was a friend of mine. And it was in the middle of his shoe. And normally they won't give you a new shoe. But I asked him for it and he gave it to me. So no problem there. So I started with that new shoe. And like I said, right away, was losing. Finished up that shoe, went to the next shoe, same thing, losing. And then it was like, just like a pop at the end there, down whatever, 3,000-4,000, just all of a sudden, the last few hands, as the count was starting to slowly decline, I was winning and doubling and winning and all that kind of stuff. But, so, all right, you could say we're almost even, down a couple $100. Heading back there again, and we're going to try, I don't know, I mean, what do I do? I've already had 2 blackjack sessions on this shift. Do I push it? The next shift is coming in soon. Maybe I just wait a little bit until the next shift starts. What do I do until then? Not really much to do. Gotta think it through here, because I'm here all night, so I could go home and come back tomorrow. I could just wait until the next shift and try to get 1 or 2 sessions in on that, which seems to be the best way to go. And then if I'm bored or there's nothing going on, I can go to the car and try to rest a little bit, maybe try to get some work done for the office. So I don't know exactly how it's going to go, but we're heading back there, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, back in the car. Another couple hours in there, just screwing around, trying to find something, just going from machine to machine, table to table, trying to make something happen. I first got in there, played mainly slots, and I was ahead $115. Took a break, came back around, looked at some blackjack, still nothing going on. Finally found a table, low limit table. Played that for about 20 minutes till the count was really, really bad, and there were 2 other people on the table, and I left that table ahead $88. And then went back to slots and saw everybody I knew in there. I saw one guy playing $30 a spin on a 5-line machine that was in just the worst position. I don't know how he ended up. I couldn't even watch it. I went and played blackjack and came back, and he was still playing it. I mean, it was such a long stretch for that. At $30 a spin, I can only imagine how bad he did on that. And then I had a couple more sessions of slots and ended ahead another, looks like 231 together. Like an 83 and a 148. What is that? 231, yeah. So 231 more. So we're definitely ahead for the day. Not where we'd like to be for the day by a long shot. I don't know what to do at this point. Nothing is going to happen here for a long time. The nearest casino that I can go into, maybe, that's a crappy casino, would take me about an hour and 30 minutes to get to. And then from there, do I go home? Do I come back here? Do I take a nap? It's still early. I can't play any tables there for sure. So only slots. And I don't know. Oh, man. Sorry about that. Definitely tired. Not really sure. So right now, that was a long time being in there, scrounging around. I actually did a YouTube live, and I didn't see how long that lasted, maybe 20 minutes or so, doing a chase on a machine. And that failed miserably. I was down like $360 on that one at $1.50 a spin, and I lost that much. So that was pretty bad. Luckily, I was able to make it back in other places, but yeah, I wish I could take you guys with me everywhere I go, but unfortunately, not possible. So, all right, right now we're going to figure out what we're going to do next, and then I'll come back and update you. All right, hopefully it doesn't say the name of this place here in a second, but decided to take the hour-and-a-half drive, and I'm here. So we'll see what happens here. Got through no problem. Actually covered up the license plate just in case the other place referred it. But I think I'm going to go to the dealer, tell them I want a new car because this one needs an oil change now, and then we'll have a new license. So anyway, all right, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So talk about a makeshift cover. I just took a couple napkins where they're folded, and I put half of it behind the license plate and half of it in front of the license plate, and it stayed in place. So I parked across the street. I did that, and then I went to the casino. No issues. So there's a gas station real close. We're going to pull in there real quick and pull that off, and then we'll be back on the road. So we ended up ahead $110, and not bad. It was actually only 2 machines that I found. It was pretty dead in there, and it's like I said, it's not like one of the favored places where you're going to find a lot of stuff. So the fact that we found anything, yeah, it was an hour and whatever drive, but you know, we made some money, and the place that we were in is already wiped out. So you know, I'm going to be sleeping, laying down, thinking, walking around, or I had a chance to make some money. So it did work out. So, all right, plus 110, and we're going to pull over here at this gas station, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I sat at this gas station doing some online stuff because I'm in the right state to do that now, and made a little bit of money, not much, about $30. But while I was sitting there, I was thinking, which way should I go? Should I go home? Should I go back to where I was? Should I go somewhere different? And I decided, well, I typed in casino and looking at the map, and I found a poker club that doesn't close for a few hours, and it's only about 20 minutes away. So I think we're going to go look at this poker club, see what's going on, and maybe play a little bit and see what happens there. Never been there before, never even heard of it, but I think it might be a good idea to take a look. So that's what we're going to do right now. On to the poker club, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. I went to that poker club, and when I was pulling up to it, I didn't see anything, and I pulled into this little tiny parking lot, and I looked at the sign, and the sign had the name of the poker club. So I'm like, it's got to be here somewhere, but I see no lights on, no cars, no nothing. So I drive around to the side of the building, and I start seeing some cars back there. So I pull in over there, and I see that there is a club, and it's got a neon sign that says open, but I don't see anybody in there. So I pull up in the front, and there's probably 12 cars or so in front of the club. I park the car, and I walk in, and there's one table. And I'm like, okay, well, it looks like there's a seat open at least. And I walk over to the cashier. There's 3 people sitting on a couch there. And then there's like another area. It looks like it's a pretty big club. It could accommodate a lot of people, just nobody was there at the time. And I said, you know, there's a seat open. He said, well, unfortunately, we're having a tournament tonight. And that's what's going on right there. That's the final table of the tournament. Okay. Well, how much does it cost to play here? And he went around and round and round and didn't tell me. he was telling me about how every so many days they have an online event where you play in person, but it's broadcast online, and there's a delay and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's nice. Well, how much does it cost to play? Well, there's a tournament, and there's the tournament fees. It's included in the fee. Okay. Well, what if I want to play cash? Oh, yeah, we have cash some days. Some days? You have this big club, and you don't have cash open every day? How much does it cost to play cash? And he said anywhere between $60 and $100 a day. I'm like, that seems awful high for a place in the middle of nowhere, but you get to be on TV. I don't want to be on TV. I don't want to be on the internet. I don't want any of that stuff. I just want to go play poker and be left alone. So he's like, well, give me your ID and I'll sign you up. I'm like, no, I don't live in the area. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. And so that was it. So I walked out. As I'm walking out, I see this girl over by the door. I'm like, she must be waiting for somebody. And as I get closer, I see she's dressed up in like a security uniform. Okay, that's cool. I walk out the door, and she walks out behind me. And I'm like, okay. I walk to my car, and she stands in front of the building until I leave. So I don't know what their deal is. But that club is not what I needed tonight, so none of that going to happen. So now, question becomes, do I go back to the city I was in, or do I head home? And I feel like I should head home. I feel like I can get home by like 2:30, which is not great, but I can get a few hours of sleep. And then I have 5 meetings tomorrow. Maybe we can start fresh tomorrow. And between now and the time I get home, I can figure out where I would be going tomorrow. But I think that's the best thing. So we can do some segments here. What did you eat today, MW? Actually went to that bakery and had some of that bread with like the cheese stuff on it and the spices and all that, the herbs. It was really good. I give that a 10 on a scale of 2 through 8. And just a little bit ago, I actually had Taco Bell. Yes, Taco Bell. The place that I used to make fun of all the time and used to call it Toxic Hell. I went there. And you know what? I got to hand it to them. For what they got to work with, they always seem to do a pretty good job keeping things original and fresh and all that. And man, I know, it's not like the greatest food or anything like that. But if you think about it, for what it is, it's really not that bad. And I got this Ultimate, I think it's called, Ultimate Lux Box, and it's like a burrito and a couple tacos and stuff. And then I got a little chicken ranch something quesadilla thing. And so I started eating the tacos and the quesadilla. They were okay. And of course, the quesadilla is only like $3, so it's pretty small. But then I got to the burrito, and it's supposed to be a steak burrito. And then I remembered why I stopped going to Taco Bell, because when they were trying to keep the prices down, they introduced something new, and that is potatoes. They started putting potatoes in their burritos and stuff as a filler so that it stays cheap, but it fills you up. And there's a lot of food there, but it's very cheap to make. So I ate it. It was okay. The cheese sauce on there was not very good, but, I gave it a try. I would give that a 7 on a scale of 2 through 8, which is actually higher than I thought it was going to be, but we'll give it a 7. And what did you tip today, MW? I would say I probably won 5 or 6 hands playing poker. And I tipped $1 a hand, so there's that. As far as blackjack, I did have 3 sessions of blackjack, I believe. And with those 3 sessions, I tipped $0. And what did you learn today, MW? Well, I learned that it doesn't seem like I'm banned at this place. Seems like everything is okay. We'll see what happens later. But as of right now, it seems to be okay. I did buy in for a lot. and I did spread a lot. Well, not a lot, but 100 to 800. If it was like 5 to 40, I think it's a little different than 100 to 800. But didn't have. Whoops. Let me stop this real quick. Okay, I didn't want it to start talking. I'm just gonna stop here at a gas station, but yeah, 100 to 800, and they didn't give me any issues. They didn't really watch over me or give me a hassle or anything like that. So I gotta say that's good. I also figured out, I improvised and made a license plate cover out of a couple napkins, and just put the folded part over the license plate, the back of the license plate, and there you go. And it worked, and it stayed down, and even when I was driving a little bit faster, it didn't seem to fly away or anything like that. So that's good. So I think I got plenty of fuel, but it's cheaper here. I mean, this gas station is like my favorite place to stop, and gas just reached $3 a gallon here. So I don't know what it is where you are, but $3 a gallon is kind of cheap. Everything I saw today was $3.99 and $4.29. So I'm stopping here. We're gonna empty out the trash in the car, get some fuel, head home, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.